How you feeling after that one?
Disappointed. Happened to us at Fulham, a pretty dominant performance statistically, differently there away, but here, very dominant stats, but stats don't win games. I've said it for years. I remember the myth 10 years ago, people said you have to have the ball to win games. It's a myth, we all know that now. Everton didn't, but they defended very well, and it's with 2 good goals from their point of view, really poor goals from our point of view. Dominated the rest of the game with the ball, but you can't, it's not good enough dominating games. You have to find the edge to go and score goals. And it's one of them challenging situations of finding that balance between mixing our play to be effective, but then also playing in a way that we think is suited to the players, and we're still working that out, I think.
52 crosses from your side tonight.
Yeah, lots of passes, lots of crosses, but I don't think they were in massive trouble. They had a couple of scrambles and a couple of moments, but look, if you win that 1-0, everyone says a totally dominant display. But because you don't win that 1-0, they say a really good away performance from Everton. And that's fair, by the way. I'm not knocking Everton Football Club at all. And I thought they defended resolutely, defended very well, and scored 2 good, like I said, good goals from their point of view, really poor from our point of view defensively. Oh, we had plenty of the ball. We got into key areas. We created moments, but not really with that killer moment, I didn't think. And that's really frustrating after being a dominant side. But goals win games, and we didn't find a goal.
You've been very positive about the progress this team's been making, but is tonight a reminder that you also need to look over your shoulder?
Oh, there's never been I don't need a reminder for that. 3 games ago, they all say we're brilliant. So, that's how the storyline changes, and we've got to change that the other way. That's the biggest challenge, I think, dealing with expectations as well. Since I've been here, the big games that have come around, we've sort of risen to them, and then the ones when the expectation change onto us, dealing with that, can we go again? I felt it in the stadiums, like big expectations. Go on then, after the Man City performance, forgetting about referees and, all that. Can you step on again? And a couple of times since I've been here, we haven't done that. After that game, we haven't gone to delivered again. So that's the next step. Can you find that consistency we spoke about the other day in everything you do? The challenge tonight was a different one. Very dominant with the ball. Lots of crosses, lots of moments, but don't find the killer edge. And therefore it becomes a bit of a damp squib from our point of view. On the other hand, that's the madness of football and the madness of what you guys do. If we win that 1-0, everyone says, oh, totally dominated it. That's the storyline, really.
Did today underline the sort of players you got missing, the ones you coming back from injury, short in key areas?
Yeah, I think we're still, there's some very good players who are missing, that's fair. But I think we've still got players here who can perform and can win games. We've shown that. So I'm not going to start making excuses. It's helpful if you've got everyone fit. Well, at least we are getting bodies back fit, which will be helpful. But yeah, I mean, it's there are, Woody's been a loss. We know that. Obvious, that's quite obvious. But we've still got players who we believe can be effective here.
Sure, you mentioned the frequency of the ball there. Is that what you needed to do? Do you think you needed to find
You got to ask more questions. It's very difficult to play 700 passes and break down a packed defence. It's a very difficult thing. So you've got to ask more questions. You've got to play long, short. You've got to ask more questions by breaking the back line. I don't think we did that often enough. And when we did, there wasn't that real cutting edge or that real killer moment. And I think same at Fulham, well, for an away side, slightly differently, but quite a dominant performance, but never really had their moments which are the killer moments to go and score a goal. And then if you're not going to do that, that's fine if you're going to keep the ball and play. I don't mind it, but you don't lose the game. You've got to get something from the game, even if it's 2 points. We'd have probably took it, with the Fulham game and that game. But you can't let in goals like that. They were really poor goals. That's my most frustrating thing.
Sean, forgive me if you were asked this yesterday. Is Woody's injury mean you have to reassess?
Yeah, it's months, not weeks. Yeah.
Well,
I think we're always assessing, but like I said the other day, that it's not just the ownership here will back the club. We know that, but you've still got to find the people and still got to be the right deal. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Yeah, I think why not? Because in the sense that expectation rise, I just spoke to the players about it. I said, in a way, it's not easy. Of course, you play some big teams who've had some big results against them. But it sort of dampens down that. But tonight, I think there was there certainly was for me, by the way. I came in tonight thinking, go on then, after the Man City performance, there was an edge with that. We were very unfortunate, I felt, with decisions. I'm not going to keep going on about that. But there was a real edge to the performance. And I was expecting that. And it was just, like I say, you can talk about stats and all that, but there wasn't an edge to the performance tonight. It wasn't an edge where you go on then. You know, I didn't come away with that and go, wow, we absolutely battered them completely. We did with stats, but not actual killer moments. And the expectation should be here. I mean, we've done a lot of work from when we've got here, and I've said all along, when we beat Tottenham here and everyone said we're brilliant, I said, no, hang on a minute. It's a good showing, but there's a lot to learn here. That's an experienced group in Everton. A lot of them players have experienced the Premier League a lot. A lot of ours are learning about the Premier League. And that's sometimes the difference. It's not just about stats, it's about that feel of the Premier League. And that's where we've got to learn. Expectation changes. And it should be at this football club, and it's our job to keep pushing expectation, and that's what we're looking to do. Our own expectations, sorry, not from the outside, our own as a group.
That was really resilient performance from Everton.
I know, I taught them lads well, you know. They keep telling me what I didn't do there, but no one thinks about the things we did do.
I was going to say, obviously, you need so much to instill that within those players.
No, like I said, there's no question of them. A good away performance for that reason. You know, staying resolute, despite all the really powerful stats. But never really looked in particular. Two centre-halves I thought were excellent. The back four really, but staying in situ, not really being adventurous, but won the game. And I'm a great believer in winning this. You know I am, and it's not. Look, a lot of our play, like I said, it's the madness of football. If we win that 1-0, everyone would have said, oh, it's totally dominant, had this many passes, this many crosses. But the definition of being a successful side is winning games. Now, how they come about. And that's where we've got to rise to the expectation. A lot of people, you could sense in the stand tonight, they're like, go on then, go and win the game. And we've got to rise to that, I think, as a collective.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, cheers.